continue with our class Kosher Kitchen. And we start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon. And today's topic is Gaon's will. In his ethical will to his family, Vilna Gaon wrote, one will stand judgment for every utterance, and light remark will not be ignored. The sin of forbidden speech is the worst of all. As our sages have stated, these are the sins whose fruits there is a secondary punishment exacted from a person in this world, while the principal, the primary punishment, remain for him in the world to come. Right? So Haloshon Hara equivalent to them all. Okay, let's read this piece and try to explain. One will stand, so Vilna Gaon says, one will stand the judgment for every utterance. So our sages explain there are myriads of angels that follow each person and record everything that he is saying. Whatever is it, they just record. So today, as we said before, people have cameras, security cameras, so it's not so hard to imagine. In olden days, before these cameras, it was people have doubts, but today, very simple, right? Even the light remark will not be ignored. So meaning everything like, well, somebody said a joke, maybe the person did not hear this and that, okay. The sin of forbidden speech is the worst of all. So meaning that it is forbidden. It's not, light remark is one thing. Maybe the guy was complaining about weather or traffic or something, right? But here we're talking about it's one category, another category, forbidden speech. Worst of all, our sages have stated these are the sins whose fruit is secondary. There is secondary punishment exacted from a person in this world. So in this world, our sages said the person is going to suffer, guaranteed. So measure for measure, he's going to suffer, or she's going to suffer for this sins of Haloshon Hara. But this is not it. It's only fruit. Fruit is like we understand there is a big difference between fruit and a tree. So fruit is a small part of the tree, right? And they are exacted from a person in this world, while the principle there is a primary punishment remain for him in the world to come. And Haloshon Hara is equivalent to them all. What more need to be said concerning the most severe sins? The verse says, sorry. The verse, all man's toil is for his mouth. It's from Halachos 6:7. The sages comment on Halachos Rabbah 6:6 that all the mitzvahs of the Torah study of a person are not sufficient to negate that which is uttered sinfully. They further states which craft should a man pursue in this world. He should strive to emulate the mute, to avoid evil talk. It's from Hulin 89a. And press his lips together like two millstones, which grind against one another. So let's do this piece. We try to explain. So continue Chafetz Chaim. He said, what's more needs to be said concerning the more severe sins, the more severe of sins, meaning Haloshon Hara. To the verse, all men's toil is for his mouth. Right. So there are different explanations about this verse, but okay. It's Halachos 6:7. The sages comment that all his mitzvah of the Torah study, meaning Torah study and prayer is a mitzvah that one do with his mouth. That's from here, like indirectly we learn. So when we learn, even you by yourself, nobody is listening to you. You have to say words out loud, right? Force yourself. So for me personally, I always like when I sleep into just reading with my eyes, I lose the concentration. So me personally, that's my trick, right? So if I want to get the concentration back, I start speaking loud. The louder I say, I mean, when I learn by myself, the better I understand. So that's how it works for me. Okay. So all of these mitzvahs of the Torah, what a person learns, is not sufficient to negate which was uttered sinfully. Right? First of all, it's a general rule. So commandments, this merits, positive commandments, do not cancel out the sins. This is, there are two different accounts. For sins, person is going to get punished, and for merits, he's going to get rewarded. If there is one but, right, or one if he did not do any commandments for which his soul is being cut, meaning he's going to gain on forever. So that's a big problem. So he's never, does he have a positive account? Yes, but is he going to use it? Most likely not. Unless HaShem will see that he's lost case and he's going to pay him in this world. But if not, if HaShem will see maybe he can have do Teshuvah, so he would not give him reward in this world and wait until he does Teshuvah in order to reward him in the world to come. The further state, which craft should man pursue in this world? He should strive to emulate the mute, to avoid the evil talk, right? Which craft is the best, for us to learn? Mute. Again, mute in all other aspects besides the Torah. As it says in Hulin 89a. And pressed his lips together like the two millstones, which grind one another. Right? The millstones that they have to grind the seeds, right? The kernels, of course, they have to be very tight. So do the same with your lips. Okay, continue. So it's all from will of Vilna Gaon. Not a single. So he's like skipping around like parts. Not a single such a utterance escaped from being recorded above. So all of these things, whatever we said, so we have to be very careful. We have to remind ourselves many times that's what's going on, right? Everything is being recorded. Should I say it? Should I not say it? Should I waste my time to write to that person with that person, like this empty conversation? So I told few people already. They start like, how are you? Listen, yes, I said stop. I not into small talk. If you want to ask me something, ask me. Right? If I can help you, I can help you. But don't ask me this question. Don't waste my time. And don't waste specifically your time as well. So because for me, your time is also precious. So it says, heavenly angels are forever being sent, right? For each to each person to record every utterance, as we said before, right? So it's they say thousands and thousands. For a bird of the sky will carry the sound, and the winged creature will read the matter, right? It's from Kehelas 10:20. So that's allusion to these angels, right? In every culture there is a saying about the birds that spreads out the rumors, right? The tweeters, right? Meaning whatever that person said is going to get known. Let not your mouth bring guilt on your flesh, and do not tell the emissary that it was an error. So okay, it would be too late, right? It would be too late to fix a very interesting thing before we started. I had this question for a very long time, and of course the answer exists, like one official answer, but it was not very satisfactory for me. So it says that that the wicked people are not going to do teshuvah even in the gates of they say threshold in the gates of Gaon, right? And simple explanation that because when in the world of truth, so it's like it's not there is no free will, so you cannot choose otherwise. That's why we're not going to give them a choice to choose good and to do teshuvah, which is I'm not sure what it says in some Talmud. I mean, it's understandable explanation, but we learn in a morning group, like we learn Mechtab Meliyahu, Rabbi Dessler, that's an amazing answer. So it says there, our action affect our character, right? And became our character, right? The more the person does say same things, it affect our character. And character become like our reality. It's become our nature. So that's how we naturally would react. And when person is wicked, we can change our character only while we're here. We can work on it. There is a special advices from Rambam, from Rabbi Dessler, how to work on ourselves, on Masar's Musar, of course, how to work ourselves and change our character. But you can change your character only while you're here. So when person dies, so it's like this changing process stopped. So and when a wicked person goes to Gaon, that's what he is. It's his nature. So and Rabbi Dessler, he separates knowledge and desires. So and he explained, just because somebody knows that that he has a diabetes or close to the stage of diabetes, right, and then he wants to eat sweets, you're not going to stop him to eat sweet. Does he know that it's not good for him? Absolutely, he's going to stop it not, right? So same with that wicked person when he goes to Gaon, like after he dies. So that's no more change of the character. So that's what he is, and it's not like he's doing something different. Like it's not like he's been extra wicked. It's not. It's just because he's been what he always been when he was alive. I think it's an amazing explanation. Okay. So many times we have a question and we have answer, but sometimes it's not satisfactory. So my approach is just continue learning. Just continue learning, pray, and HaShem is going to send you the answer. Or ask. Okay. But even if you ask and you're not satisfied with the answer, so continue learning, continue praying. Okay. So we're on chapter number 5. I think we're going to finish. Yeah, planning to finish this chapter today. Beezrat HaShem. And our big topic is precautionary prohibitions. So precautionary meaning not to eat meat and milk together. And last topic was this daily bread. How is it forbidden? But if you make only small amounts, and if you make a big batch, right, with a dairy dough, and then you change your mind to split it in three parts. You give it to the neighbors, you froze, all of these scenarios. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it. We continue with all of this. It's our decrees of our sages to protect us from actually eating milk and meat together. So for sure it's all rabbinical, but it's very, very important rabbinical. And as we learned yesterday we had a class, right, on the laws of nidui, right, the excommunication. So one of the 24 category of people who get excommunicated, who treat with disrespect any rabbinical point. So it's from Rambam, and the commentary on Rambam, which is just unbelievable. I don't remember who said, which commentary said, but he said unbelievable. He said Rambam is very precise with his word. Who treats with disrespect? He's doing it, but maybe he's saying that to other people. These rabbis, they're annoying, this, that, right? So if he would violate this, he would be in different category. It's very interesting. So continue. Kasher utensil from meat to daily use. So that's many times this question was asked, we answered, but now he's going to go to all of the details, I think. Ashkenazi custom prohibit kasher utensil from meat to daily use or reverse. Okay, so let me read quickly a note. It says the source is Magid Avraham. Sephardic custom permits kashering from use to one on another. See Kafachaim. Okay. Or Chaim for 9:45. Okay. So again, you had the utensils, right? That were used for meat, and you want to kasher them in order to use them for daily. So the problem is, I'm going to explain the way in my mind, like if a person would kasher from one type to another from time to time, at one point he's going to make mistake and would not remember. Is it the daily or is it me? I don't remember. I did it 3 times or I did it 4 times. I don't remember. That's it. It's only a matter of time when person is going to fall. That's logical explanation. Poskim were concerned that one may use only one set of pots or the tableware and regularly kashering them from one type to another. One who does so will inevitably at some point forget to kasher them. Forget to kasher them and use daily dishes for meat or the reverse. Following cases are exception to this rule. Okay, so we're going to go to exceptions, but they're talking about kashering, like a person has only one set. I mean, in olden days, in poor countries, like that was known for them to have only one set. But today, it's not the case. You can buy, I don't know, like cheaper quality. You don't have to like a very expensive, cheaper quality and have separate. Okay. So following the exceptions. Okay, so dishes kashering for Pesach. One who kashering dishes for Pesach use may then change them from for one designation of another. Okay, so in olden days, today we do not recommend to kasher dishes because not all of them. For example, if you have china plates, right, it's not so simple to kasher them. Not everybody agree that it's kasher. We're going to learn, I think, even in this book why. It's a long story. Pots, yes, pots you can kasher. Okay, so if needed, but again, it's only 8 days. It's not such a big deal. Just buy one pot, like for Pesach, or 2 pots, and it should be enough. 1 frying pan should be enough. It's not like don't eat dairy or eat dairy from disposable things. Don't cook dairy. Just eat whatever. And it's not worth it to kasher these dishes or pots. Again, it is allowed, but practically don't do it. Number 2, kasher and treif dishes. Okay, similarly, if a vessel becomes treif, so treif meaning non-kosher, right? Non-kosher. It may be changed from one type to another after its kashering. Indeed, so meaning it was a meat pot, right? And then and they use it to boil milk, for example, right? Your sister-in-law came and that's what she did. She did not know. Okay, so what can you do? You have to kasher, and it was used for meat before, so now you can kasher and start using for daily. Okay, so in this case you're allowed to switch. Indeed, one who wishes to kasher a vessel from meat to daily may take a vessel treif, may make a vessel treif, so as to enable to kasher and change. I mean, for me, it's just let's read the commentary, because for me it does not make any sense. Commentary: it may not be made treif by cooking daily in binyama meat pot, or the reverse, because to do so should be constitute cooking meat and dairy together. Okay, so let's do this from the beginning and try to understand. So one more time, in second exception, kasher and treif dishes. So if it became treif, not kosher by accident, that's normal, right? You have to kasher. Similarly, if the vessel becomes treif, it may be changed from one type to another after it's kashered. Okay, so it was, as we said in our example, it was used for meat. You want to start using for daily, no problem. Indeed, one who wishes to kasher the vessel from meat to dairy may make the vessel treif. So it looks like in order to be allowed to convert from one type to another, he makes a treif intentionally. But in the commentary it says, so you cannot make a treif, but by cooking. Let's say in a daily pot that is less than 24 hours. More than 24 hours, there is a lesser of an issue. That less than 24 hours, and you cook their meat. Okay. So that would be treif. But if it's less than 24 hours, it would be like you cooking less than 24 hours. It would be like you keep cooking the meat and milk together. So it is prohibited. So of course you would not be allowed to make a treif in this case. Okay. Continue. So as to enable it to be kosher and change. So I would say in the worst case scenario, you can use you can buy the used pots, right, if needed, and you can kosher them. There is no problem. If made of metal, no problem. If they have some kind of covering, that would be like some kind of finish. It's depends. But in general, so you can buy not kosher and kosher them. Number 3, koshering a part of status. One may kosher a meat or dairy pot to use for parv. Okay, so that's a very clear case. I mean, okay. So parv means that you're going to this wood would be parv from this pot, and you would be able to eat it with dairy or with meat. Okay. Number 4, utensil unused for a year. A pot that not used for a year no longer may be kosher. No longer may be kosher from one type to another. No longer may be kosher. I'm not sure what does it mean. A pot not used for a year or longer may be kosher from one type for another. I apologize. So if it was not used for a year, so meaning like it's not like you're pushing it, right? You have no need for this type of food for a daily. Let's say you bought three pots and you used only one. Okay, so other two are like just sitting there. So you can kosher them to be parv, for example, or meat, whatever you want. Okay, so number 5, koshering with libum. One may kosher meat or dairy with a libum process. So it's libum is as we said before, it's like koshering with a torch. So it's a little dangerous. Libum process. So in parentheses it says koshering with a direct fire until the vessel becomes red hot. See chapter 10. Oh, okay, we did not get to it. Okay, so I would not recommend to see your vessels red hot. I mean, can create more damage than saving of money. Especially if you have this Teflon covering, so it's going to crack for sure. Okay, continue. Number 6. Utensil received as a gift. One received a used pot as a gift or inheritance. May kosher it to change it to use for which it is needed. Okay. So your great-great-grandmother died. She was 200 years old, and she left you these pots, and you want to use it because it's a good pot. So no problem. You can kosher them to any type you want. There is no problem. Okay. Very good. So in general, it is forbidden, but those cases we already have. I don't know how many cases, how many exceptions, but a lot of exceptions. Okay. So continue. Number 7. One who is unaware of the custom. Very interesting. One who was unaware of the custom of kosher, of the custom, and kosher meat pot, and uses for dairy may eat the dairy food. Meaning what? That person did not know his custom, maybe Sephardic or Ashkenazic, that's the thing, and he kasher from one type of another, so he can continue using it. Okay. While all above exception may seem at first glance to be evasion of the custom, they are consistent with its logic. Okay. Why? What is the logic? The purpose of the custom is to avoid repeating kashering from one type to another. These cases do not lend themselves to the repetition. So, I mean, this Rabbi Frost, Benjamin Frost, he's a great scholar, right? So this conclusion is just amazing. So he said that maybe it looks like to you like a loophole. No, it's the main idea. The person would not kasher from one to another. In olden days, it was they did not have money. Right, so it was they would be forced to do that. But with Ashkenazi custom, it was forbidden. Why? Because even though they're poor, so don't eat meat, basically, or have one pot that people were borrowing. That's why it's so many laws of the borrowing. People would borrow a pot, like meat pot, from one household to another because they did not need it every day, only from time to time. It's very interesting. So. Okay. Summary: Ashkenazi custom prohibits kasher utensils from meat to dairy use or reverse. So again, the big idea. So you not switch back and forth. And all of these cases that we said, it's only one time switch and that's it. One may kasher dishes for Pesach and then change them from one status into another. Okay, no problem. Similarly, Treif vessels. So dishes for Pesach we're going to learn because we use for chomets, right, or derivatives of chomets, right? Okay. Similarly, the Treif vessel may be kashered and change from one the designation to another. One may also kasher a meat or dairy pot for pot of use. Okay. So a utensil that was unused for a year, or previously used, or a previously used utensil received as a gift, may be kasher from one use to another. So it's so logically the same. Okay. So we finish the chapter. Any questions on what we said? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, on this part where he says utensils are pot not used from 1 year or longer may be kasher from one type to another. I have two questions regarding this. I noticed that it says a pot. Does that apply for dishes too?
With dishes, let's put them aside. It's not so simple to kasher dishes. So you need just for us to understand. If dishes is considered to be like earthenware, that's a problem because you cannot kasher because they're too porous and they would absorb the taste. But original China from a long time ago, it was of course earthenware, but they would cover with a thin layer of glass. Glass you can kasher. So it's not so simple. We're going to see the porcelain dishes. They are more like earthenware, so they would absorb the taste. You would not be able to kasher. Again, if you use it for hot, right? If you had hot something on that dish, even once, that's meat or dairy. So that's enough to make it meat or dairy. So you would need to kasher. So it's not so simple. So let's not overcomplicate our case. Let's stick only to pots and pans at this time.
Thank you, Rabbi.
And actually, there is another difference how to consider. What do you consider this? What is it? Glasses. Glasses. It's a custom is also different between Ashkenazic and Sephardic. Okay, we'll see. Okay, chapter number 6. and topic is common basar v'chalav problems. So basar v'chalav, basar is meat and halav is the milk. Okay. So let's he list the things that we're going to discuss, topics. Contact between cold meat and dairy food. I thought we did it. Contact between cold meat and dairy food. Okay. Meat cooked in dairy pot. Milk steeped in a meat pot. Milk steeped in a meat pot. Okay. A meat lid placed on a dairy pot. Clean. Right? So that's why don't allow anybody into your kitchen. So people like I thought, but it's logical. No, forget about your logic. I have my logic in my kitchen. So don't let anybody not part of your family who not familiar with the kitchen to do any cooking or even warming. Right? If a person wants to warm something in the microwave or something. Hot pots that touch each other. Meat and that fall into milk. Hot liquids poured from a dairy utensil into meat utensil. One more time. Hot liquids poured from dairy utensil into meat utensil. So just so we understand, these liquids could be paraf, could be tea. Right? So you can drink your tea or your coffee without milk. Let's say without milk, you can drink from a dairy cup. What is the problem? Okay. So and now he wants to pour into meat cup. Right? Meat cup meaning some people do have and we do recommend. Some people like their culture. They like to drink chicken soup from a cup. Right? Eat meat like a chicken separate, but soup is from the cup only the broth. No problem. So in this case, the cup that they use is for sure it's a meat cup. So this and people who have little kids who eat drink milk, warm milk. Sometimes they put hot milk, so it have to cool down. So I mean you cannot always calculate. This milk, the temperature of the milk. So even if it's a little hotter, so you say, baby, wait for a few minutes and then you can drink. Okay, so these few minutes means that this milk was very hot, meaning yatzal dasbo, that when you hand recoils, and for sure this cup is 100% milk. Okay. So continue. Meat gravy. Shatter on a dairy pot. Splattered. A meat gravy splattered on a dairy pot. Okay. A dairy ladle insert into the meat pot. That's all very interesting scenarios. A hot meat pot placed on spilled milk. Hot meat pot placed on a spilled milk. So meaning a pot is on a bottom, nothing went inside. Okay, what to do? So continue. One accidentally cooked. So now he's asking the question. So he lists the topics, the structure of the book. Now he's going to ask the question. One accidentally cooked chicken soup in a dairy pot. What should he do? Okay. May one eat cheese lasagna baked in a non-binyama meat disposable pan? One more time. May one eat cheese lasagna baked in non-binyama. Non-binyama meaning it's more than 24 hours. Okay, so it was clean, I assume. Right? I mean, otherwise there is no question. Right? It was clean, not used for 24 hours, like a disposable pan. Okay. Continue. May one drink hot dairy cocoa that was poured into meat cup. So meat cup, as we explained, he drinks from there like chicken soup or something. And now he poured their cocoa. Okay, continue. How should the meat and dairy foods be separated in refrigerator? So I was just recently asked this question. Very interesting. So a person, single person, lives alone, has tiny, not tiny, but smaller refrigerator. They don't need bigger, right? So it's not so easy to separate on different shelves and stuff like that. Okay. Continue. What is the best way to add hot water to the cholent pot? Okay, so even before Shabbos, right? It's not so simple, right? Because of the steam. May one warm dairy food on for Shabbos meal on Shabbos blech. That's a good thing. Good question, right? So blech is usually for a party for meat dishes. So now they're talking about dairy foods. Okay. So next one is introduction. In this chapter, we'll address many common kashrut problems that arise in the modern kitchen. Many of these problems relate to issues discussed in early chapters of this work. As I said, I mean, some of them will be discussed, but now I think he's going to bring everything together. Like that's many times just like when he takes all of this example from the context of previous chapter and put in one chapter. That's just simply amazing. I mean, it's easier to learn, especially like when you do a review. That's person learns a lot from review. Throughout this chapter, we may discuss cases of meat utensils that came into contact with the dairy or dairy utensils came into contact with the meat. Okay. In either case, the reverse is also true. So that okay. So it doesn't matter. So we might discuss meat utensil came into contact with milk, or milk utensil came in contact with the opposite. So it doesn't matter. Same exactly rules, right? Continue. That the reader is reminded and cautioned that the purpose of this work is neither to render halachic decision nor to replace a Rav. This work should certainly not be used as a basis for reaching halachic conclusions. So that's he put it in bold. I mean, he's very God-fearing person, Baruch HaShem, but based on the way he explains many situations, very straightforward, clear. Very, like if you have doubts, that's a different thing. But many examples that he gives, like he looks at the different example and the different angles. I think on many on many problems we can find the answer to this book in this book, but maybe some exceptional. I'm not even sure what the exception would be. Okay, but let's continue. All material cited solely for the purpose of alerting the reader's halachic questions and to familiarize the reader with the issue that the question may be intelligently presented to a Rav. Okay. But okay, even though like I understand what he's saying, but he compiled it in such a like orderly way. So in just learning this book, you can derive to right conclusions. Okay. Maybe not from first time. Maybe if we read 2 or 3 times. Okay. As true as with regard to the entire work, it is practically particularly true with regard to this chapter. The issues discussed here are very complex and are in a domain of experienced Rav who has mastered this subject in their primary and secondary sources. So commentaries say, what is it? One who wishes to study these issues depths refer to Laws of Kashrut, chapter 11. I'm not sure it's Laws of Kashrut. Maybe it's different books. Yeah, Laws of Kashrut. Okay, no problem. Continue. The subject, so I mean, he's very humble. He said, of course, he warned us, like at least we would know what to ask, but don't dump everything on this Rav. First of all, it's not so simple to find this Rav. Most of the rabbis, they know only like some basic things, right? So, and he would give you a guess. So your better guess would be from an expert that went through all of the sources. Okay, so that's from my experience. And unless you have access to the big Talmid Chacham, whose expertise in these kashrut issues, that's a different story. But otherwise, I would not count on this, and that he's going to answer you in the same day or even in the same week. Not because he does not like you, but because he's busy with a million other things. Okay. The subject of this chapter is Basar v'chalav problem. So I guess in my approach, so now after we learn all of these possible issues, so build for yourself fences. So if we say splatter from meat gravy into the dairy pot. So don't cook them together. Do 2 hours apart. Or whatever. Do them cook them in different time. We'll put them separate. One on this side, on this burner, this one on that burner. So don't put them next to each other. Okay. So continue. The subject of this chapter, Basar v'chalav problem, caused by the contact through heat. However, when contact between cold meat and cold dairy food could be problematic. However, even contact between cold meat and dairy food could be problematic. The reader is referred to chapter 2, section 2 for discussion of this principle. It may be used to repeat. It may be useful to repeat some of the practical applications, right? What we said in that chapter. So basically, we said there that the taste is going to be transferred through some liquid. So if it's dry foods, it's maybe there is no transfer of the taste, and through the liquids and through the fat, right? So of course, the meat is fatty, so sometimes you will need to cut this thin layer. Okay. Continue, and in some cases you just need to wash it, and that's it. So he has a little table. It says cold meat and dairy that touch each other. So okay, cold meat and dairy. So both of them cold. If one of them is hot, it does not matter. Two of them hot, one of them is hot, does not make any difference. So now both of them are cold. Both foods are dry. Both foods may be used without washing. Okay, so meaning both food may be used without washing. I guess there is no fat, because we said the taste is taste transfer through the liquids or fat. Okay, so that's my guess. Continue. Either food even slightly damp. Okay, here we go. Both foods must be washed. So if it's possible to wash that food, you must wash it. If it's not possible, so that's a different story. If it's like cereal, how are you going to wash the cereal? Okay, so okay. Oh no, I apologize. But yeah. I mean cereal also. It says cold meat and dairy that touch each other. So that would be the issue. Okay. Either is fatty. Okay, here we go. Right. So in the first case means that it was both of them completely dry. Either is fatty. Both foods must be scrubbed well, or a thin sliver of the source should be cut away. Okay, so fat, as we said, it's transfer the taste. Let me just quickly check time. Okay, so continue. Other types of contact between meat and dairy. If cold meat falls into cold milk, or cold milk spills over cold meat, there is a question of whether or not milk is absorbed into meat. A Rav must be consulted. Okay, so here it's like a straightforward case. I mean, straightforward. It's not so simple. So he would ask how this meat was cooked. So it was it was cooked, boiled, or it was broiled or something, and how long they were together. So the longer they're together, the more possibility that that milk absorb into the meat. But if you just splatter and you understood what happened, and you took the piece of meat out, right? You wash it under the cold water, right? There is no problem. Continue. If hot meat, so one more time this situation, the first one. If cold meat falls into cold milk, or cold milk spills over the cold meat, so the same. There is a question whether or not milk absorbs into the meat. Okay, so that's the question. Continue. Next one. If hot meat and hot cheese are placed atop each other to touch or touch side by side, right? Rav must be consulted. So meaning that I would say that it's a matter of time, like how long can you cut and how much you can cut, basically. But okay, you have to ask a rabbi. Okay. So if it's possible to go stringently and throughout this mixture, yeah, it would be preferable. If it was very like only a few seconds, so I said just cut the as I say slivers, so whatever the top part of the meat, so you would be on a good side, and that's it. And you can eat the rest. Continue. Cold meat is placed onto the hot dairy pot, or hot meat is placed onto a cold dairy plate. Rav must be consulted. One more time. Cold meat is placed onto the hot dairy pot. So I guess this dairy pot is empty, right? It's empty. It's just dairy. Cold meat is hot, but I'm not sure why is it hot. Okay, maybe they warm in the oven. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. So the pot is hot. The meat is cold, and they put this piece of meat into this dairy pot, or the meat is placed onto the cold dairy plate, or the hot meat placed on the dairy plate. A Rav must be consulted. Okay, no problem. So that's what we say when you designate dishes. So make sure that you not make they're not very dissimilar, right? Between dairy and meat, so you would not make mistake. Okay. So next one, food touched the fatty hands. Food touched by fatty hands, right? Especially children. So they would eat one, and then of course they would eat something else. Right? That would be the issue. Children. Okay, here we go. Children often touch potted foods while their hands are wet from the milk or fatty from pizza or meat. Okay, so they would touch some potted foods, right? It's not like they would touch, they eat pizza and then go to meat. No, they would touch potted food. That's the question. Okay, number one, if their hands were merely wet, the food should be rinsed. Okay, so it's merely wet, the food should be rinsed. Okay, if the hands were fatty, the potted food must be scrubbed well, or thin sliver of the affected surface cut away. Fatty. Okay. Next one. If the foods were already cooked, or if children touch absorbent food, a Rav must be consulted. Okay, and the last one should always see that the children wash their hands well before assisting in preparing food, right? So they like to touch things. Okay, so let's do this from the beginning, and we're going to see the situation. So first one, if the hands were merely wet, the food should be rinsed, right? So we're talking about potted food, right? So we don't. So if if we do not care and we're going to eat this potted food with dairy, there is no problem whatsoever, right? There is no problem. So, but if you maybe you or somebody else in a household is going to eat this parve food with meat, that's the issue. Why? Because this through this from this touching, they transfer the taste of cheese or milk into this other parve food. Parve food could be bread, right? So I think that's example of cookie or something. Continue. Next one that we covered. If their hands were fatty, the parve food must be scrubbed well. So if it's a bread, you just cut a little piece or some vegetables or something, right? Scrub well, or thin sliver of the affected surface is cut away. Okay. So what we do in our house, if we have some some doubts or sometimes, right, happen. So we put this parve food into the dairy container. So everybody knows that it's not exactly parve. So if you want to eat it with dairy, there is no problem. So it's not exactly parve. It's actually doubtful dairy. Okay. So and same with meat. So if it was, or for example, it's some leftover and it was on your meat, touched the meat, or it was on the same plate with the meat, even though you did not eat it, maybe you did not touch it, maybe they didn't touch each other. It does not matter. So you put this leftover into the meat container, right? So we have also for example for meat we have rectangular. And for a parve we have a round container, so you cannot make mistakes. And for dairy we have different kinds of the few, so you would not make a mistake. Okay. Continue. If the food were already cooked, or if the children touch the absorbent food, Rav must be consulted. Okay, so meaning I would say, right, in this case, they touch the food and then they cook the food. So most likely the amount was less than 1 to 60, so he would allow you to continue. But of course, they want you to go to Rabbi, because people many people always bias and they're not so God fearing, so they would no, there is no problem. So not just to stress that it is a problem. So are you allowed to eat after the fact with this problem? Yes or no? That's a different story. Continue. Last one. One should always see that the children wash their hands before the assistant preparing food. Okay, and same with adults. Adults also have to wash their hands. Okay. I guess we can stop here. Or let's do last piece of this stuff. An important caveat. All of the above refers to the instance where one actually sees the dampness or fat on the children's hand, or has a good reason to assume that the child's hand was soiled. So again, don't drive children crazy. Don't drive yourself crazy. So if you see if they just touched something moist, but there is no moisture on their hands, it's not considered transfer of the moisture, right? One is not required to, nor should one, regularly inspect the children's hand at soil. So you're going to drive them crazy, right? This can be harmful to the chinuch and to one's peace of mind. So a person is going to check their hands. Show me your hands every half an hour, 15 minutes. The Torah does not require us to worry about imaginary and projected problematic scenario, right? So that's a very important thing. So don't. Many times it happens. People go crazy and they try to. They won't learn. While they were ignorant, no problem. They lived without any care in the world. But now they learning, and they're afraid of many more things. So this is the rule. So we're not allowed or not required, he says, to worry about imaginary projected problematic scenarios. So if you saw it with your own eyes, or it's most likely that's what happened, it's one thing. But otherwise, don't drive yourself crazy. So why? Because darchei no. It's the ways of the Torah, the ways of the pleasantness, right? Not to craziness, right? One who experienced such anxieties should consult a Rav to determine whether these worries are halachically reasonable. They usually are not. Right. So there is a special type of the people who always worry, and even we try to calm them down, and sometimes they, in their mind, in their psyche, they always thought that they did something wrong. It's unbelievable. Like they judge themselves only from a negative side for no reason, and we have to work with these people. Why? Because it's from my experience, like few people just drop everything because they were worried too much from nothing. Even though I told them there is no issue whatsoever, just stop it, just continue living your life. That's it, right? But they did not listen. Unfortunately, dropped. Of course, they did not drop because of that. Because they wanted to drop all this time, and they were cooking. The way I see, they cooking, and they had a reason why they should drop. That's my explanation. And then they saw the reason. It's too much. I can handle it, even though Rabbi said that you can, and there is no problem. No, I cannot handle it, and drop. Okay, so we have to go by whatever this Rabbi said, Rabbi Frost. I said, so don't drive yourself crazy if there is no reason to suspect. Okay, I can stop here. Any questions on what we said or any topic?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So what happens if a meat product touches a dairy product that cannot be scrubbed or scraped off, such as, I don't know, a pile of feta cheese or shredded cheese or so on?
If it's a shredded cheese, as you said, so it would be easy. So you just remove the part that touched it. It would be easier. So the real issue is, just developing your example. If it would fall into the cereal, so you have morning cereal with milk, and it fell in that plate, that bowl, that would be an issue. But if you can scrub it, that would be the easiest solution. Or just separate with the part that touched it. So in this feta cheese also, only since it's dense, right? Only the top layer touched it. It would be the easiest solution. Okay. You're welcome.
I have a question regarding dishwashers. Is there a way to kasher dishwashers?
It's there's no way because the plastic parts, right? Plastic parts, and it was used. Usually, the water there is used above the yad saladasbo, so it was hot, really hot water. For sure, they become they absorb all of these things. So what some people say, I'm not sure how is it possible, but they say they can order parts, to replace this the plastic parts. I'm not sure how is it possible and how much this going to cost you. From my experience, to order a few parts is going to cost you almost like if you buy the brand new unit. So it's not worth it even to try it. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and the entire surface on the inside is made out of plastic in most of them, so I don't know.
Yes, I heard from, but I'm not sure. Of course, they're not serious people. I told them, person can afford buy it on sale, buy it. I don't know. For example, in our house we don't have dishwasher. Wash everything manually. That's if you get used to that's not a big deal. But if you get used to the dishwasher, so just buy another one. That's it. It's not the end of the world. It's not the most expensive product, dishwasher.
Yes. So regarding using a dishwasher for dishes for dairy and meat, would I have to get two separate ones?
Yes. Or I would say the cheaper solution. So if a person does not eat a lot of dairy, just I use the disposable plates. That's it. You understand? So it would be cheaper and faster, and that's it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yes, yeah. And then plus it takes it takes space in your kitchen, and you have to do like all of the connections. It's a big project. Just to install this dishwasher, it would be like in an existing kitchen could be a big project. It's not so simple. Okay. So, any other questions on any topic?
I have one.
Go ahead,
Two.
please. Yes. Go ahead.
So if a friend of mine buys non-kosher food like a sandwich that has non-kosher meat or chicken,
Yeah.
can or cannot he warm it in my oven or microwave oven?
No. It's your oven is going to become Treif. You need to kasher it. Yeah, that's not allowed. That's what that's example when we were given. He said when the dish or a pot became Treif. So this expression means that by accident something not kosher was used in that pot, like example that you gave, for example.
How would be a way to warm this without in a way that whatever element I use to warm it is going to be it's going to be kosher.
Mm-hmm. How will you do it in your so
I was thinking over the stove. I was
Oh,
thinking
no. On top of the stove is a less issue, right? So if you wrap in aluminum foil, maybe double wrap, triple wrap, for 4 times wrap, so it would be less of an issue. Yes.
still whatever I used to as a surface later on it would be needed to be kosher.
Because it did not touch the actual food and it was wrapped. So in this case you can rely on it. And technically, I mean, we do not recommend, but technically, if somebody needs to heat up his own food in a non-kosher microwave, so we just do the double wrap, and we can warm up like that. Can you do it with not kosher sandwich? Okay, technically you can, but not recommended.
And what will be the procedure if a rodent contaminated a dish? It's kosher now?
Rodents? There is no problem. Just wash it. That's it.
Is it not needed to boil water?
No. There is no problem whatsoever. Even if something not kosher but clean touch, I apologize. Cold. I mean cold. Some not kosher but cold touch this your dish. There is no problem. You don't have to go through the hot water. Technically, and that's why technically we said before. So you can buy, for example, the glasses for wine or something that were used by Gentiles, right? Not right. So you can buy. Why? Because they never used like in a glass from for wine or champagne or whatever these glasses. They would never put it like hot chicken broth. Right? No, nobody does that. So it was most likely it was cold. Wherever there was a cold, was water, was wine, was juices, whatever was it, right? And that's it. So you can kasher it simply as you kasher after the liquids, after cold liquids. It's very simple to kasher.
Another question is related to night of.
Okay, go ahead.
Before midday.
Okay.
Tomorrow, can we start listening to music immediately and cleaning the house, bathing ourselves, or the like?
Okay, so here's So you asked 3 questions. So usually, since it's an exceptional situation, because tomorrow is Erev Shabbos, so usually all of the things like taking haircuts, listen to the music, we would allow only after the chatzos, after the midday. But since it is for preparation of Shabbos, if it's for preparation of Shabbos, so you would be allowed to do it in the morning. For example, you want to do laundry, so you don't have clean clothing for Shabbos. Okay, there is no problem. You can do laundry. You don't have to count only one shirt for Shabbos. You can wash 7 shirts. That does not make any difference, right? And you take a haircut. You somebody who shaved, there is no problem before chatzos. But all other things like optional. So I mean, for example, eating meat, drinking wine. Of course, maybe I hope people don't drink wine during the day. But if like for medicinal reasons, for example, right, or they need meat for strength, there is no problem. But only after chatzos, after the midday, whatever midday is in your location. In my location, it's like one. I don't remember. I don't want to say. I don't remember. 117 or something. So. And music is after chatzos, but cleaning the house is actually, it was allowed. That there is a custom. Where is this book? I learned it today in my class. Eliyahu Kitov. It's an amazing book, a book of our heritage. If you can see it, book of our heritage. So there is a custom. That we start cleaning our houses after chatzos, right? After midday, so it's like preparing for coming of Mashiach. So that's it says that Mashiach is going to be born on Tisha B'Av, right? Or was born on Tisha B'Av, and it's like after the Tisha B'Av, it might come, right? So we're allowed to clean our houses. And actually, my wife asked me if she is allowed to wash vegetables or something, or whatever she was washing. So there is no problem, even though there is no washing like taking shower or something, like even washing our hands, right, for pleasure. If your hands got dirty for something, you're allowed to wash. There is no problem. There is no prohibition, right? So, and if you washing something like you for cooking, there is no problem. It's not you washing for pleasure. You're washing for because you need to cook, or for example, you're washing for somebody who is not allowed to fast. So forget about chatzos. Even early in the day, when the person eats breakfast, so you're allowed to prepare breakfast for them. Okay. What else? Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions on any topic? All right, so we can stop here.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
So if the parents of a person that converted pass away, does he still have to recite Kaddish for them?
No.
Okay, thank you. And the
But
other
one thing about the situation, he can inherit from them. And he can divide. I think we had it sometimes in the class, but I'm going to repeat. Maybe somebody missed it. So if this person, there were two brothers. One converted, one did not convert. And parent he was a heathen. He was an idol worshiper, right? So they come together to get to the apartment, the house, and this brother who is Jewish, he can say, you take yourself Yoshke, all of the portrait of Yoshke and his mother, and I'm going to take the chairs, right? You take for yourself these religious books, this garbage, don't tell them garbage, and I'm going to take whatever, right? There is no problem, right? Why? Because halachically, according to the Torah law, he's not allowed to, like, he cannot inherit, because they're two different people. It's not like two separate. After the person converted, he got new soul. There is no more connection to his father. Of course, he has to respect for other people. So because other people, it will be healed HaShem. But the only reason our rabbis allowed him to do this trade-in with this guy, right? Why? Because otherwise, unfortunately, they say because this person might, if father was very rich and he's not, right? He might go back to his previous faith. That's the problem. That's why rabbis say, yeah, you can go ahead and inherit with your brother. There is no problem. So it's very interesting, right? But if father was a Jew, but unfortunately, like he was an idol worshiper, right? He had all of these getchkes in his house, and so the brother is so it's not so simple. So one brother cannot say to another brother who's also of the derech. So you take yourself getchkes, and I'm going to take the chairs, right? All of the statues. I'm going to work like that. Why? Because when in the Jewish law, when father dies, so they accept the inheritance right away. So that's it. So he cannot derive pleasure from or derive any benefit from idol worshiper. So if this guy, so like meaning everything like 50-50. Let's say it's two brothers. So 50-50. So I cannot say I would have to take these getchkes and I would have to destroy them. Okay. Next question, please.
I didn't know that, Rabbi. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
So my second question is about dreams. If the person is constantly having this dream, like let's say 80% of the times, should he go and try to interpret it or get it interpreted by someone, because it's very constant, and it's not something that, I mean, in my personal case, it's not something that I constantly see on my daily life, and it's there all the time. So I don't know if I should go and try to get it interpreted by someone that knows about it.
Yes. And in this case, so you usually, I would say, just in the Gemara says all of the dreams are then nonsense, right? So that's what in the person's mind, what he was dealing with the whole day, the whole week, that's nonsense, right? But at the same time, they say, so if dreams continue constantly, almost one-to-one, the same, 3 times or 4 times or more times, so that's we have to take it seriously. So that's one of the methods of communication from Shamayim. And so the question is, why do I have to go to interpret? If, for example, this person in a dream tells me what to do, right? Why do I have to understand what's going on? So the answer is, even though this dream might be true, it's like message, prophetic message for you, personally for you. In each dream, there is still some nonsenses. So we have to separate these nonsenses from the real stuff, right? And that's what you do, right? You go to Rabbi, you ask him, you present all of these facts. He asks you all of the appropriate questions, and then you recite. How does it affect your life? Maybe you didn't even think how to look at from a different perspective. Understand? That's the thing. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Yes, you're welcome. Have more questions for us? That's it. You have more questions on that? That was the last one.
Oh no, I think that was the last one. Thank you, Rabbi.
No problem. Okay, very good. You're welcome. Any other questions from anybody else? Or we stop? Okay, no problem. So Baruch Hashem, we had a very successful week. We didn't lose anything, even on Tisha B'Av. We learned appropriate topics, of course, for Tisha B'Av. Baruch Hashem. So thank you for learning with us, and until next week, next Monday. Beezrat Hashem. Thank you. Same time.